In our previous video titled Value Creation in Private Equity, we talked about operational improvements, multiple expansion, and deal structuring. When we talked about operational improvements, we specifically referred to a case of when a private equity firm invests in new technology to create value. But we didn't go into too much detail. Well, in this video, that's exactly what we'll be doing. We will walk you through an example on how to realize value through technology transformation. Then we will talk about value realization tactics that can be used when buying a company, and we'll end the video with a final thought. So let's get started by going through an example of realizing value through technology transformation. So there was a company that sold healthcare products, and as the company grew, its individual systems grew separately. Let me explain. So the company had a customer relationship management system, a CRM system, where it tracked its current customers, potential customers, and sales employees' communications about these current and potential customers. It had an inventory management system where it tracked the inventory ordered and inventory in stock to ensure the company had enough inventory available to sell, but not too much inventory that would tie up unnecessary cash flow. And it had a bookkeeping system that tracked expenses so that the company could easily compile these expenses into accounting statements. But there were many problems with the systems that occurred as the company grew. Some of the problems were, number one, inefficient inventory system. As the company grew, it had to buy products in large groupings, then break them up into segments when sold. The inventory system did not have the ability to track segments, only the large groupings of inventory that was purchased. So this needed to be fixed. Number two, paying commissions. The CRM and the bookkeeping system were not connected. So at the end of every quarter, an employee had to manually calculate commissions for all the salespeople. This process was time-consuming and was subject to human error. This also needed to be fixed. And number three, inaccurate inventory tracking. Not only was the inventory management system inefficient, but also the inventory management system and the bookkeeping system were not connected. So it was difficult for the firm to come up with accurate inventory data. So if this company was purchased, how do you think value can be realized in this situation? That's right, by installing a new ERP system. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. And an ERP system usually incorporates not only customer relationship management, CRM, inventory management, and bookkeeping, but also accounting, more than just bookkeeping, human resources, supply chain, manufacturing, and more. So, to conclude our example, as you can guess, the company was purchased and an ERP system was implemented. There was an upfront cost to investing in the ERP system, but because of the increased efficiency, the company was able to scale and grow revenue faster and be more efficient with their costs. Because of this, the cash flows of the business grew, which resulted in an increase in value of the company that far exceeded the upfront cost for the system. So let's move on to talk about value realization tactics. Value realization can be explained as having a list of tactical changes and exercises that you will employ at the firm once you buy it to positively increase cash flow. Similar to how an ERP system was implemented to increase the cash flow of the healthcare business in the example earlier in this video. Here are 3 other value realization tactics that can be used to realize value. Price optimization. For example, when TPG originally bought Cirque du Soleil in 2015, one of the ways that TPG created value was by changing the way prices were determined for tickets. There is a lot of research that goes into how to price various products. One of my favorite books on the psychology of decision making is Dan Ariely's book called Predictably Irrational. If you have read that book, you probably remember the famous economist subscription experiment that Ariely conducted. He wrote out the following prices from an Economist ad: $59 for an Economist.com web subscription, $125 for just the print subscription, and $125 for both the print subscription and the web subscription. Then, Ariely asked 100 MIT students what they would choose. 16% chose the Economist.com web subscription, 0% chose the print subscription, and 84% chose the print and web subscription. But then, Ariely removed the print subscription option, then asked another 100 MIT students what they would choose. The answers were very different. 68% chose the Economist.com web subscription, and 32% chose the print and web subscription. As you can see, The Economist used a decoy option to alter the way that consumers made decisions. Pricing is always a consideration when you are looking to grow a company. Next, we have restructuring, divestitures, and carve-outs. For example, if you buy a company that owns the real estate, you can conduct a sale and leaseback where you sell the property and lease it back. And if you have enough real estate and the public market valuations are high, you can package the real estate into a real estate investment trust, a REIT, and bring it public. And cross-selling. This has been done quite a lot in the private equity industry. Many private equity firms have been buying other alternative investment managers so that they can cross-sell their clients on different products. Examples of this are when private equity firm TPG bought Angelo Gordon to cross-sell TPG's clients on Angelo Gordon's private credit and real estate offerings, and to cross-sell Angelo Gordon's clients on TPG products. Private equity firm EQT bought Exeter to cross-sell EQT clients on Exeter's real estate offerings. And investment management firm Franklin Templeton. I know that Franklin Templeton is not a private equity firm, but I really wanted to give this example. When Franklin Templeton bought Lexington Partners to cross-sell Franklin Templeton clients on Lexington's private equity secondary offerings. Now, before we head to our final thought, I'd like to thank George Konstantopoulos. George has approximately 20 years of M&A and private equity experience, spends a lot of time on value realization, and shared the story that we used in this video. Thanks, George. Now, here's a final thought. Investors, when looking to make an investment in a direct private company, you need to think about how you will create value before you purchase the company. When you're conducting due diligence, it is important to not only look at historical results, but also to have a plan of action on the tactics that will be used to realize value after the investment is made.